introduction, maybe let me give some background. SBF, okay, two entities here. SBF is actually the Business Chamber, as what Greg has mentioned. We have 21,000 members in Singapore. Out of this, 70% of them are the SMEs, the larger SMEs. Well, so we have some 15,000 members are actually SMEs. But these are the larger ones because in Singapore there are some more than 150,000 SMEs. Our launch in November, we have got so much money that have been pledged over the next few years, next 4 or 5 years. Can you give some to me? And then we say that, what we want to do is we want to look at areas that are related to business. So we will not fund the children and the old directly. In that aspect, we are not funded unless it's a related angle to work to business. Because otherwise, I think those are sufficiently taken care of. And there's no need, for us to go into that, and there's no advantage for us in terms of going there, because the advantage of SBF coming into the picture is because, we can get our members to come and see how we can support, and get businesses to see how we can support. So therein lies, from there we started the SBF Foundation and the focus. Okay, CSR is one of the 3 objects of SBF Foundation. The other 2, I have some materials actually, later I can pass them around. The other 2, we are looking at helping the disadvantaged workers in Singapore. The last group, we also look at disadvantaged youth, because we believe that we want to break the vicious cycle, of the poor, especially, I come from a background of, I did spend a couple of years in the reintegration of offenders, and to break that cycle of crime, especially for this group, something must be done in terms of their education and therefore employability. So this is important, and these are 3 objects of SBF Foundation. And for CSR, I think it's a very good question to ask, what is CSR? Many people think that CSR is just giving, or some people even narrow it to just money. Some, maybe wider, giving of your time, employees participating, serving and helping out old folks, children's home, old folks' home. But it's beyond that, you see. And therein lies the challenge in terms of businesses. Here we have the larger MNCs. Many of them are very sold into CSR. Many of them in some way have done CSR. Some of them even have foundations of their own to look at CSR. So you will ask me, then where is the SBF Foundation? So somebody at our launch last year, somebody asked me this question. They say, can you summarize SBF Foundation in one sentence? I say it's the foundation of the business community for the community in Singapore. Not every company is able to set up a foundation on its own. Not every company has got full resource to look at doing CSR in a big way. Or at least to them, may not be making so much as to be able to give away. So that's the first group. I think the other thing to look at in terms of CSR is also then how do we change mindset of companies? Something to think about is the policies that the government has. The government is doing a lot in terms of, as I mentioned, a lot in terms of helping the needy. But I don't know whether because of that, companies are beginning to say that, never mind, this is the job of government. So you need to think through some of this, because how then do we get businesses to change their mindset and say that I have a part to play in this, leveraging on what they do as doing the day-to-day in the course of the business. So the philosophy has got to change. Then very much what we need to see is mindset. So in SBF Foundation, we are looking at working with Singapore Compact to look at a few areas. One is creating awareness. Awareness of need for CSR. We are also equipping in terms of the capacity, capability building aspect of it. That means we provide a course, train your champion, the CSR champion, so to speak, to look at implementing CSR. And then from there, they are on their own in terms of which area they want to go into. I'm not saying that all the companies we work with who come to us must be, must not cover, children and old folks. But SBA Foundation, we were very targeted. We were very targeted to equipping companies, helping workers. That is our focus. The other thing that I think we can look at is at the individual level. One of the things that I'm exploring with NVPC, the National Volunteer and Philanthropy Center, is, you see, if you give away, then you get tax break. But many of these companies are doing work on a pro bono basis. The professional services, for example, the legal, the accounting firms are doing this on a pro bono basis, whether for the old folks' homes or for the other charities. Some of them even giving advice, legal and accounting advice. So, but that is something that they can't get any advantage, any benefit from it. So something that you all may want to think about. If you say you operate a logistics company, and you provide that support in terms of doing good, is there some way that way, you get recognized for that through some form of tax incentive? That means because if you do on a pro bono basis, you don't expect to issue an invoice. Therefore, you don't have that financial transaction there. But can the government so-called recognize some of these contributions in a way that, okay, I still allow you to maybe have some tax breaks based on these contributions? I think that would help.
Yeah.
But the challenge is then how do you put a value to this? The government, Singapore government is very, it's always very careful, what if this amount is inflated? How do I verify whether the amount is something reasonable and also, but something that maybe you want to think about. But that will really help. That means don't just wait until you get a profit to give away some money, then you get a tax rebate.
Absolutely. I think it's naturally an ecosystem. So as Esther said, we need to identify what we want to see in CSR in Singapore, and then we can sort of put some meat on the bare bones of what kind of tax breaks we are looking for, because the tax regime at the moment doesn't really. We need to be advocating a tax regime that supports the right kind of CSR from our point of view. And I think this is the perfect segue, because as you say, one thing alone is not necessarily enough to encourage companies to be doing good. It needs to be a multilateral approach. And we need to provide different kinds of support to different kinds of businesses. And naturally, the SBF is a big supporter of small and medium enterprise. So Petra Holtz in the back is just going to give us a quick talk. She works with a